Alright, Parasoul time. So as far as movement, Parasoul has a uneven stride to her walk. It's basically just an average walk, honestly. There's nothing really special about it. Her dash, she's the best dash character in the game. So characters like Fortune or like Valentine have a run where if you hold the button, they'll just keep going. So this is a run, right? Characters like Cerebella, Parasoul, and Painwheel have a dash. Cerebella and Painwheel in particular kind of like have like a long like strut to theirs before they actually like move, versus like Parasoul where she's just in and out. So best dash in the game. Because she's a charge character, you can actually like button dash to keep your charges, and then shoot them and whatnot. So like that's a back dash into a tier shot, or you can do forward dash into a tier shot, or you could do like, oops, messing it up. Right, you can just like dash and hold on to like a pillar charge. So yeah, dash is really good. She is also able to dash jump, right? Which is really good because speaking of her jump is abysmal. She has a terrible jump arc. She keeps her legs really low to the ground. She doesn't go very far or very high, and unlike the other characters we talked about, Peacock, Cerebella, or like Philia, she has no extra air movement, no double jump, no air dash. But she does have a few tricks she can do, but we'll definitely get into those later. Right now, normals, jab, her jab is OD. Her jab is slower than average, average being 6 frames, her jab is 7 frames, right? But it reaches over here. No jab goes this far. She has the longest reaching jab in the game. One thing to note, anything that uses the umbrella Krieg, like as you can see, it has no green attack or hurt boxes on it. It's all attack boxes, all red attack boxes. So all of her umbrella moves are disjointed. That's not an umbrella move. There you go. Alright, we'll get into all those. But yeah, disjointed. It is minus on hit, but it's a jab, right? You're probably going to cancel it anyway, right? But it is minus, like -9, -10. Yeah. It's also minus on block, but it's like I say all the time, people push block all the time in this game. So look, +3, +2, +2, shoot a tier. You're good. It doesn't matter. All right. Next is her. Oh, actually, one thing to say about her jab actually is it's still a jab. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna cancel that real quick. Actually, no. We're gonna hold on to it. Alright, so yeah, it is a jab. So anything that gets low enough will go under it. See, goes under. Alright, Fortune is special because her run goes under a lot of things. The other thing to note is like I said before in previous videos, it'll lose to a crouch slide kick. So just keep that in mind. But anyway, next is her low jab. Her crouching jab is also 7 frames, but it is, oops, what am I doing? I'm doing this. There we go. Alright, but it is +4 on block. Right? It also has way shorter range, so you're pretty much going to be using it whenever you're like breathing on someone, versus this where you're like over here, because this is where this is really powerful, and this is where this is really powerful. Other than that, do note that Parasoul cannot jab at the launcher. She can low jab in the launcher though, so take that as you will. Standing short, it reaches pretty far. It's 8 frames. It can chain into itself. It does not hit low. Just see, does not hit low. There is one use I can think of, and that's the fact that if you're ever doing a combo or a reset where you can easily end up on the other side of someone, but accidentally, getting a confirm with this is really easy because if the second hit, you'll always turn around. Right, so just always input it and then you'll turn around and usually fix it. Next is low short. Low short is her low. It is +1 on block. It is probably, not even probably, no, it is one of the longest reaching crouch lights in the game. And remember we talked about her really good dash speed. Like from around like here, she can threaten a low. Like it's really good. Other than that, it has a pretty big hitbox next to like her upper torso. So let me see if I can get this. Messed up. Right, see that still hits. Like it's pretty big. She does have one more light, and that is her forward jab, forward light punch. It is an overhead. It's 20 frames. Also +1. And the thing about +1 is it's a really good tick throw. Right? +1 is that magic tick throw number. But it's an overhead that starts with a light, meaning because Parasoul can do light, medium, heavy, right? She can start a chain with a overhead and then go into whatever after that, right? So it's really strong. The other thing to note about this move is that it actually does restand. See? But it's 20 frames and the hitbox on it isn't amazing, so you'll probably never get that, but it's a thing. You can restand with it. But yeah, +1, 20 frames. Well, that's it. Stand strong. Stand strong is pretty far reaching. It's about the same amount as it's about as long as like her standing jab. It does have flames on it. We'll get into why later. But other than that, it has really no big use. It does hit low enough to like beat crouch slide kicks or beat like Fortune's jab, but it's a medium, so it's whatever. Plus, on top of that, she has a much better option in her low strong. Her low strong is really, really good at keeping people out. She moves herself backwards when she does it. In fact, you can actually Kara with that, where you can just like, you know, slowly move backwards while doing it. It covers all that space in front of her. If I turn on the hitboxes, right, look at that. Look how big that is. It's really good for stopping people from trying to air dash at you or trying to like dash in at you. Like your jab is really long, and it's pretty much when you already are in that position to like start pressure. But when someone's trying to rush in at you to start pressure on you, your jab isn't the best tool for that. This is your best tool for that. And it's primarily because it moves her backwards and it like puts out this attack box right in front of her. So yeah. Stand forward is a very underrated move. It's +0 on block. Most people don't seem to know that, but like for a medium to be +0, it's really strong. So being able to like end your block strings and that keeps you safe. It does have a follow-up, but the follow-up has a pretty abysmal hitbox to it, and you pretty much only want to be using it for combos anyway. Like look at that whipped. See, you have to be breathing on them. So just combo fodder. But this move itself is really, really good. If you can work into your block strings, please do so. Next is low forward. Low forward is a low. In fact, unlike that. So unlike stand forward, low forward has a gap when you go into heavy. So if I let go of block, I get hit. Right? It's a big enough gap that I can do that. Versus if she does stand forward. Oops. There we go. I let go of block, it's still a block string. Alright. Other than that, oops. Actually, yeah, I still need that. Other than that, the only other use for this move, I mean, it is also a low, just like her correction light kick, so you can go low, low like this. But the other use of it is it's her only tool that can low profile. So you can go under tiers, you can go under Parasoul's jab, etc, etc. Her last medium is her forward strong. This is a standing low. It's 17 frames. So it's 3 frames faster than the overhead. But the animation is still long enough and still sort of like similar enough that it can be pretty difficult to try to block these two in conjunction. It's just like, if I dash up and do this, or if I dash up and do this, you don't have much time to realize, oh, it's the low, or oh, it's the overhead. So, also has flames on it. It's a standing low, and that's it. Standing fierce is a very slow heavy. It's 19 frames. You know, most heavies like kept around like 16 frames. This one's 19, so it's very, very slow. However, it does have an amazing attack box on it. Remember, all disjointed, and not only does it hit in front of Parasoul, but it also hits way above her too. If you just look at that, all above her, and you can do it twice. So really, really strong move. This is pretty much your go-to anti-air, but do keep in mind that you aren't really able to do it on reaction because of how slow it is. We're going to do this. There we go. Right here. Right, so she's gonna do that. Right, really good. Also note that if it hits, it restands them, so it's really easy to convert off of. Oops, I messed up again. Right, super easy to convert off of. But like I said, you have to be preemptive. So like if, right, I try to react to flame wall, I'm gonna get hit. So I'm like, oh, she's coming at me. Got hit. Right. Versus being able to like, okay, I know she's coming. So anyway, next is her low fierce. Her low fierce is her launcher. That's the best thing about it. She jump cancel it, do a combo, etc. It's 16 frames, so it's really, really quick. And the hitbox on it is deceptively good, because it's not. So look at that. It looks really, really good, right? The big issue with this thing is hitboxes. Alright, so we're going to do the pain wheel thing again. Gets hit. That was actually preemptive, and I still got hit. Traded. Hitbox is not as good as it seems. I think it's mainly because of the fact that Parasoul like actually like brings her head up before she actually swings it. So it's also only active for 2 frames. Like, it does not cover enough space, enough time. So pretty bad. And even if you happen to get it, a lot of times it's pretty hard to convert. Wow, I still didn't get it. Dang. Yeah, miserable. Well, it can launch them too high when used as an anti-air and force you to not be able to get the combo. Let's see. Next is stand roundhouse. Stand roundhouse is 16 frames. It is her wall bounce whenever you're close up to the corner. That's pretty much it. You do have enough time to start charging after it hits to get a combo, or you know, whatever you want to do. You can do that. You can do right. Oh, and keep in mind, a lot of her heavies, actually all of her heavies, have this innate ability to have enough hit stun to where you can start charging in the middle of them and, you know, get the charge. I missed it right there. There you go. See, and get the charge. You do that. You can do that. Right. Same with that. Right, same with that. So yeah. Nexus or sweep, it's a sweep. That's it. It breaks armor. It causes them to be able to tech back up. It's a sweep. Alright. Back roundhouse is her other overhead. It's 22 frames. It causes a ground bounce. You can make it, it's -10, but you can make it safe by Roman canceling it, being -2, or Tear Shot to be +2. Because she has a back heavy, doing charges off of her standing heavy kick can be awkward, because if you try to do down back to charge, right, you get sweep. You try to do back to charge, you get that. So if you want this, you actually, you know, someone in the community, Guilt had found that if you hold up back, you still get this. So if you hold up back, boom, quick easy charge. Alright. But yeah, causes a ground bounce, easy to convert off of no matter which one you do, right? Other thing to note, I'm not sure if people know this, but this move, yeah, it's disjointed. Or it has a big attack box anyway, you know, like away from all the green. So take that as you will. Oops, not that. I want that off. There we go. Okay. Other than that, her last heavy is her forward fierce. This is her longest range ground normal. And like her other, you know, heavy buttons, it has enough time after it hits to charge. And then you do, oops, not that. There you go. Right. All sorts of stuff. Other than that, there's nothing else to say about it. It just reaches really far. Alright, so next is her jumping normals. You have her jumping light punch. This is your pretty much your go-to jump in, where you like dash in and jump in with. It's 8 frames, so it's slower than most lights. But if you look at the squares at the top there, on the top right, the red ones, there's 12 of them. So this thing is active for 12 frames. Meaning that that's 12 frames that this is staying active and like controlling space. And again, it's an umbrella, so it's disjointed, so it's covering all that space for all that time. So if someone, let's see, we're gonna we're gonna do you. There we go. So if someone is going to jump in at you, or you think they're going to try to leave the ground at all, right? Easy answer. And it's easy to convert off of, because you can just buffer like the next button that you want to push, whereas like your jump fierce or your jump roundhouse, right? Right, anything. Oops. But yeah, no, if someone wants to jump in at you, or if they want to, you know, jump away, that is too far. Alright. Alright. So jump away. There you go. You know, you can just nail them to the ground. It's like, no. No! So yeah, really, really good at just keeping people grounded. It's a really good jump in. It's probably, it is definitely one of the best air-to-airs in the game. It has one big weakness though, and that is it does not hit people unless they jump. right? Some characters are tall enough, like Parasoul or Fortune, to where like it will hit them standing, but some characters, even when standing, it will just go right above their heads, and it just leaves you open. So usually, if you want to do this move, you want to call an assist to back you up, just in case. Let's see. So next would be her. Actually, still need that. Her jumping short. It's 1 frame faster than her jumping jab. You can actually do 2 of them before you hit the ground. See? And it hits at a higher angle. This is important because this is why we have Pinwheel. Right? Oh, she's crouching. She's gonna go down if I do that. There you go. Alright. So, that don't hit. Alright, Painwheel is too high up for that to hit. That hits. Alright. That's all there really is to this button. It's really quick. It covers a lot of space too. This is not as long. And it's really good at, I mean, hitting Painwheel. That's pretty much it. It's a pretty good air button. Let's just go with that. Next is her Spiral Flare. Her Spiral Flare is her back light kick in the air. It's meant to cross up with. That's pretty much it. It just hits behind her. Except for like on characters that are like really fat, like Painwheel, not Painwheel, Eliza, Beowulf, and like Big Band. This move does not hit in front of it at all. It's only meant to cross up with. So as you can see, I'm not hitting Painwheel unless I jump over her. Right? And if I like stay in front, see, it's not gonna hit. Okay, I guess it can. But next is her jumping strong. Jump strong is, let me turn off hitboxes. Pretty much combo fodder. It hits all the way up there, but who cares? You have this that hits pretty high anyway, and yeah, you don't really need something that hits up there. That's all there is to it. Jumping forward. Jump forward is a interesting move because if you hold the button down, she'll float. This is one of her useful like ways of moving around the screen. Oops. Right? So you'll float. The other cool thing about this move is that it causes her to be able to rebeat. So she can obviously do this into, let me reset the position. There, oops, I don't want you to do that. There we go. Alright, so she can obviously do that, right? Go to medium, go into heavy, either heavy. But this move lets her go into a light, see? Or a medium. Or into itself, really. It recovers really quickly, and it chains in both directions. It's very peculiar. The other thing to note is that you can actually fuzzy with it. It's actually her only fuzzy tool. So like if you force the opponent to stand block while they're stand blocking, you can do that and it'll instant overhead them. Her other move, her other medium, is her Chun-Li Stomp. It's jump down forward. It's 7 frames, so with jump startup it's 11 frames. This is an 11 frame overhead versus this being 20. So it's really fast. It can chain into itself. It can chain into the other mediums. It can chain into a light. Chain into heavies. The only downside of this is the fact that she can't combo off it by herself. she needs help with an assist. So yeah. So Parasoul has two moves that can rebeat and chain into each other. So yeah. And both of them recover really, really quickly. So let me see if I can do this. Yeah. So next is her Fierce. Jumping Fierce is pretty much her best jump in tool. So this is pretty much really good air to air and like catch people trying to like leave the ground. This is just a really good tool to jump in with. It's a Fierce, it's 14 frames. And remember we mentioned Parasoul's bad jump arc and the fact that she leaves her legs pretty low to the ground? Check this move out. Hitboxes. And slow-mo. She pulls her legs in when she does it. And she fly swats right in front of her. And a little bit above and a little bit under. It's really good. It's a heavy, it's really easy to confirm off of. Oops. Really easy to confirm off of. Alright. The only downside of this move is that it is built into it that if it hits a jumping opponent, it causes a soft knockdown. Meaning they can tech immediately and you can't combo off of it. Even if you call an assist. See? The only way to rectify this is to not start the combo with this move. If you chain into it, right, you're fine. See? Because I did light punch first and then I did the heavy punch. However, if I just start a chain with this, it's going to cost them the tech. So, light punch, do it, right? Just the heavy punch, they tech immediately. So just keep that in mind, that you really can't start this as a this doesn't start combos for you if it hits an airborne opponent, but it's really good to jump in with. If the opponent is still on the ground, it's really good to jump in with. It takes Parasoul's abysmal jump arc with her really long legs and just she soars. She soars. Also note, she has jumping roundhouse, which is basically the same thing, only it's multi-hit. Alright. She also pulls her legs in. She hits all below her, all multi-hit, all in overhead. It's really strong. The only other thing about these two moves together is, so if I do that, I do that, right? If you do this, right, you get an easy combo, but if they block it, it can be punishable. Like, look at that. That was -8. That was -9. -11, right? Oof. Very minus, right? So you don't really want to be doing that. This is way safer. +12. +15. -1, right? Doesn't do as much damage and it's definitely going to scale your combo, but if you're looking to play it safe, that's what you do. Alright, and that's all her normals, right? Yep, that's all of her normals. Let me take off hitboxes. Alright, so again, Parasoul is a charge character. So as far as special moves, they're all hold back or hold down for a couple seconds, or not a couple seconds, for a little bit, and then, you know, hit the next button. So like napalm shots, hold back for a little bit, push forward. So like 1 shoot, see, 1 shoot. So she has her napalm shots, she has light, she has medium, she has heavy, right? Light travels around the screen pretty slowly, heavy goes really, really quickly, medium goes at an angle. The big thing to note is that light's your main way of establishing your pressure and doing your combos, because light recovers really, really quickly. So this lets you get all those links right? Right? And also keep in mind that light is really plus. So when we're in the corner and there's like no pushback, if I do a block string into a light tier shot, I'm +2. Right? There's barely any pushback in the corner. Mid screen, because of pushback, +5. Right? And because of like a little bit of spacing, +7. Right? From over here, +8. From right here, +10. Right? So it's a really strong way to end your pressure with, because you can just restart your pressure after your opponent blocks it. However, if someone knows how to push block, that is not what I want you to do. Thank you. So she's gonna do that, right? So she'll do that. She does that, she's plus, right? +5 because of pushback, right? If I push block her, right, there's a period where it's not going to hit me, and I can just, whoops, I don't know why I super jump. There you go. Do that. Every character in the game can punish it in some way. It's different. It's depending on the character. Figured out how to do it with your character, but yeah, that's not completely free. If you read it, you can beat it. So next is the medium shot. It goes up at an angle. That's pretty much it. It goes up at an angle. There is a really cool thing to note that in the case of Fortune, we mentioned that Fortune has a very special run that lets her go under stuff, including tier shots. Right? That was heavy, that was light. She goes right under those. That's medium. Because medium bounces off the ground like that, it can catch her running. Catch her running. And combo off of it. You can. Well, I'm missing it. There we go. So yeah. Other than that, there's not really much use to it. It covers that space up there. And heavy. It's just it just goes across the screen really, really fast. It's not plus like the light version is. So like, right, -6. You know, from over here, -3. Oops. Oops, did it again. -1, right? So you're not gonna be plus with the heavy version. If I do it point blank, that's not it. There we go. -6, yeah. So heavy's pretty much just for full screen. And now the big thing about the tiers is that you can only shoot another one if the first one stopped moving. So once it plants like that, then you can shoot another one. Right? So watch, I was gonna try to shoot. See, I don't get it. So I have to wait for it to set first, and then I can do it. Also note that if it doesn't hit anything at all, it has to leave the screen. So if I do this, see, not another one. There we go. See, you have to wait for them to leave the screen, or you have to wait for it to set on the screen. Otherwise, you won't get to shoot another one. But she also has her tier tosses. This is done with core circle back and plus kick. Light goes at that arc, medium goes at this arc, heavy goes at that arc. You can record them together in any order. So you can go light, medium, heavy. You can go light, light, heavy, medium. You can go medium, light, heavy. Right? You can do all sorts of things. The other thing to note is that if you hold the button down and let go at a certain point, you can stop it at any point that you want to. So that's light if I do nothing. That's light if I hold it and let go. That's medium if I do nothing. That's medium if I hold it. Doesn't mean if I hold it and let go at any like other point. So she's able to cover all these different spaces and angles with her tier shots. Do note that the tier toss does not hit. See? It does not hit. Only the explosion part does. And then of course here's heavy. Those are all heavy that I covered the angles with, and that's medium. So yeah, you can reckon them together, you can hold them, you can hold all of them, you can hold one, right? You can hold two, you can do whatever you want. It's very, very versatile. She also can do this move in the air, but she only gets one before she lands on the ground. It does, however, sort of act like an air dash for her, where she can cancel a normal out of it. So this is really strong for her. The biggest thing about tiers is the fact that she can actually detonate them in multiple ways. So either A, they detonate on their own and cause a small explosion, or B, they get detonated by her normals that have flames on them. Any normal with a flame on it can detonate a tier. If you detonate a tier manually like this, it'll cause a big explosion. Big explosions are really, really plus. And then you have this, you have that, you have this, and you also have her jumping forward can also detonate tiers, and she can bomb jump off of them. So you can do stuff like this. Woo, I messed up. There we go. Right? So you can throw these, you can do that. So also note that her light punch, when it detonates a tier outside of a combo, it's always the small explosion, but everything else will always be the big explosion. So that's a small one on the ground, that's a small one in the air, that's a big one on the ground, whoops, that's a big one in the air. There's also a third explosion that only gets done from a TK. Oops, there we go. I got it, but I didn't detonate it. There we go. That's the tiny, tiny explosion. Tiny explosion doesn't matter. It has like no hit stun or no block stun. Oops, I keep doing that. There you go. Versus like if I just did this, where I'll be plus 15. So yeah. That's it about tiers. There's also another way to detonate them, being the detonate, which detonates all of them on the screen. And again, everything with flames on it, so including her Napalm Quake, done with down up charge. And then, of course, Napalm Pillar. But detonate does not have a attack box at all, doesn't hit. It just detonates tiers. Quake has an attack box. It is a low. And heavy is a invincible move. It's 17 frames. I'm looking for hitbox. There you go. It's 17 frames. It covers a big amount of space, but not the space. Oops. There we go. Like around her upper body is a dead spot. So if you can fit into that spot, it won't hit you. So we'll do I'm looking for, all right. Oh, I'm still on. Oof. There we go. And it's still blocking. So we're gonna do that. All right. Alright, so she's gonna do this. She's gonna do it as reversal. I wanna sweep her. Right? And I'm gonna jump forward. and it doesn't hit me. Oops, mistimed. Doesn't hit me. Doesn't hit me. Doesn't hit me. So there is a dead spot that you can get past. And note that if she doesn't do it, oops, I missed it. You just hit her. There we go. So yeah, you just hit her. So yeah, has a dead spot. I didn't really go over Quake because it doesn't really do too much. It hits low. That's it. It hits low. It can restand. The only important thing about it hitting low is the fact that Parasoul, once she does her medium, because she's a strong Magic Series character, meaning she only gets one light, one medium, one heavy. Once she does a medium, she has no low. The only low after this is her sweep, which she can't combo off of. So like after this pretty much is gonna be her overhead or a mid, like you block this, you block this, you block this, or you block this. You don't have to block low anymore. This is a way to say where she can still threaten a low and still get a combo, but it's very, very risky because it's minus 11. And actually, one more thing about tiers. You only can have 3 on the screen at once. Tiers that you shoot don't count on the screen until they set. So you can actually set 3 and then shoot one, and it's still there. So if I do, let's reset the position. There we go. So if I do this, right? Well, let's do. There you go. See? So, oops. Next is her soldiers. Soldiers, you only get 1 on the screen at once. The light kick one is a roaming cancel. It will stop her out of stuff. So you can do this, right, and get the OTG, or you can do this and keep your OTG. So it's really strong. However, once you do it, you have to wait for him to leave before you can do another one, or do your M soldier, which blocks all projectiles. Where is there? There it is. Alright, if she's shooting tiers, he'll block them. You get meter for every time you do so. And he continues to block projectiles until he touches the ground. And this is any and all projectiles, which includes that. And as you can tell, he's really fast. Next is your bike. This move will go through all projectiles. Oops. Yeah. See, he goes through projectiles, and he will drag the opponent across the ground until they reach a wall. And then he'll wall bounce them, versus just doing it immediately. You always get a combo off of it, or you always cancel as long as you have your OTG. If you get hit before he appears on the screen, he won't be active. Oops, wow, he was so active. There it is. See, he won't be active, he won't hit, he'll just ride along, sad. The other thing to note is that If you do it, he goes through projectiles, but not physical hits. You can hit him. Luckily though, he doesn't count as being hit. So like if I do a launcher, see I don't get the jump after it. But he will lose to all physical hits. Alright. And he is a hit grab. That is to say, you can block him, but he will be armor. Ta-da. Yeah, and that's all her special moves, right? Yep. So lastly is her supers. You have... Let me take off hitboxes. There we go. You have Sniper Shot Super. This move has no invincibility at all. Like none whatsoever. However, what it does have is the ability to track the opponent wherever they are on the screen. So like she'll super jump and it'll still try to hit her. If it does hit someone, it causes a crumple and you get the combo off of it. If it hits an airborne opponent, it causes a crumple still, but you don't get to combo off of it because the recovery is longer. See? Right? The other super cool thing about him is that we'll put you on crouch. Is that he will wait for you to be hittable, I guess, before he shoots. It doesn't need to be that slow, right? See, and then he got shot. So that's a really strong tool. It tracks everywhere on the screen. It's really good because it always causes a crumple. Really easy to convert off of. Alright. You know, you can do all sorts of crazy, wacky stuff with it. You can do something like... Does this work? I mean, yeah, but I thought it was going to be something different. Yeah, there we go. Ah, but it ran out before. That's sad. Oh well. But you know, you could do something like this. So yeah. Next is her bike super. Her bike super actually is invincible. It shoots 6 spikes across the screen. All of them hit once. And they also all count as projectiles. So let's see, we'll do it like this. So yeah, they all can be hit. And like I said, they count as projectiles, so this also works. You also can call an assist and just walk right through. Oops, I went too fast. Still too fast. There we go. See, they only count for one hit. They only hit one thing. So if your assist is in front of you, you can always just walk right through them. They can be difficult to punish because on normal circumstances they are... Ooh, you're still not blocking. There you go. So on normal circumstances they're plus 8 right there, right? However, if your back is to the corner, only +1. Show that better. +0, right? So it's depending on like where they come from on the screen, like how close or how far, because she doesn't recover until the last one goes right past her. But it's like, wow, this super is plus. Yes, it is, but there is a way to deal with it. So if she does, oops, I need to do this. Right, punish. Just push block the, wow, I messed up. Push block the first bite, and you should be able to get a punish. Can be tricky. You have to like practice this, but you can get a medium punish. Every character is different though. Some characters have to punish it a different way. Some characters don't even get a medium punish. But yeah, it is a punishable super. And if you happen to like avoid it, or avoid it and put in block stun, you can just jump over them. Oopsie daisy. And that brings me to her level 3. Her level 3 is the only level 3 in the game without hit stop. So that is to say that you can block it on reaction. See, I start blocking after it, and I block. You can Roman cancel her level 3, allowing you to do really cool stuff. However, the invincibility wears off. Without Roman cancel, the invincibility is very long. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. 35 frames of invincibility. With Roman cancel, right, it's much shorter. It also does less damage. So like if I did, right, that's 5188 versus 4265. See, it does less damage. But because you Roman cancel it, you can do cool stuff like combo off of, wow. Combo off of it, right? Or you know, you could like use it for mix-ups, all sorts of stuff. And yeah, that's all of her moves. The only other things to really talk about is her throw. Her throw is interesting. You can Roman cancel the combo off of it. It has very short range. Like, look at that. That's abysmal. If I turn on collision boxes, it has to hit the blue box in order to like grab, and it's still not close enough. There you go. But yeah, that's her throw. It's better to back throw because, you know, you get easier combos. You can save OTG, right? You can combo fit like multiple ways. You can do the Roman cancel. You can shoot a tier. You can toss a tier. You can do bike. You can do napalm pillar. Not that way. There we go. Alright. Her air throw is different. It's really easy to convert off of, and it's really big. So like it's much more practical. Right? Can be right here. There you go. See? Save OTG. Use OTG. Toss a tier. Lastly is her snap. Her snap is pretty big, unlike Cerebella or like Philia. Philia's is pretty thin and Cerebella kind of like moves backwards. This is just a standard snap. And that's Parasoul. Oh, one cool thing you can do is that if you do them at the same time, you get them both. Yeah, and that's Parasoul. I went over tiers, I went over all her normals, so yeah. I think the next character I'm going to do is Fortune. Thank you all for watching, and if you like what you see, leave a like, and if you have a comment to leave a comment. Everyone have a good one.